In the episode 16 of Cinderella Gray, we're finally about to witness the Japan Cup. The 1988 JC was the most packed JC at the time, and the reason Tony Bean was seen as the foreign favorite was because he just claimed the arc, marking the first time an arc winner had entered JC. With the incredible competition came with unprecedented pressure for the Japanese side. In response, their top 3 runners, Ugly Cap, Tamamo Cross, and Soccer Boy, 2 of them came to defend the pride of home turf. To give more context of the Japan Cup, back when it was first founded, the highest prize pool and bonus for outsider made JC very attractive to foreign teams, but also made it extraordinarily unpredictable. Upset took place time after time. When everyone had a chance, means we got money, it naturally attracted many interesting and talented challengers. Although the anime did not spend time to introduce in detail, many of them carries a story filled with glory. Each one has lived a career as grand as the race itself. That's why in the future of the series breakdown, I want to introduce a few of my personal favorites to let people feel the glory and sorrow behind these runners. While Ugly Cap ignited a racing fever in Japan, on the other side of the world, a horse who faced the toughest challenges also brought people excitement, joy, and hope. He was a brave heart, a legend. He was Bonecrusher. Just like Ugly Cap, Bonecrusher wasn't highly regarded when he was born. What made things worse was several injuries that left a scar on him and one that almost took his career. His first race didn't go well either. 2 months later, in his second race, at Ellerslie Racecourse, he finally claimed his first victory. Over the next 3 races, he went 2 for 3, and once again at Ellerslie, he captured his first stake win. After securing his first G3 win, the team realized his potential and traveled to Australia. Is it the beginning where Bonecrusher began his epic and marked his name as the equine immortality? Well, he lost every single race in this travel. After returning to New Zealand, his finishes were third, 2nd, and 3rd. At this point, everything seemed to suggest Bonecrusher was destined to remain in the shadow, forgotten by history. This is the harsh reality of the sport. But at the time, his team made a bold decision, entering him in the Bayer Classic to challenge himself. In fact, although Bonecrusher was on a losing streak, he just finished 3rd in his first G1. In many great stories, a hero must face a turning point, a moment of crisis that defines what comes next. The team knew it full well. The decision could either break him completely or forge something stronger in the trial. And Bonecrusher did it. A G1 victory. The team immediately set their sight on a bigger challenge, the New Zealand Derby. Until now, Bonecrusher had only raced up to a mile. Can he handle the grueling mile half of the Derby? Perhaps destiny has been written. The race would take place once again at Ellerslie Racecourse, the very track where he had won his first stake race. And once again, Bonecrusher claimed the victory. It is meant to be that the name Ellerslie would forever be linked to him, a place of honor, a landmark to bring him glory. Bonecrusher, after a long brutal losing streak, left the world chasing shadow in his wake. The entire Ellerslie realized that they might have witnessed a legend. Bonecrusher's winning streak had just begun. For the next year, Bonecrusher had never lost a single medium distance race, and the most thrilling race of all came when Bonecrusher faced off against another New Zealand champion, creating one of the most legendary duels in Cox Plate.
He races up to our Waverley Star, 100 out, Bonecrusher, our Waverley Star, stride for stride.
In the final 3 furlongs, the 2 horses had left the rest of the field behind, yet never separated another by half a length. After what must have been countless bursts of speed, loss of stamina, and pushing to the limit, Bonecrusher finally surged ahead to claim the victory right before the finish, delivering a performance that will forever be remembered as the race of the century. After the legendary Cox Plate showdown, Bonecrusher set his sight on the Japan Cup. At the time, the Japan Cup offered generous prize pool to attract foreign runners. The entire career of Bonecrusher is about challenges. It's that spirit of never backing down, only faced up against the toughest and the best, which made his story so inspiring. Therefore, Bonecrusher took this chance to challenge some of the world's best. On top of that, the perception in the Northern Hemisphere at the time was Australasian horses were generally weak weaker. Long distance travel and strict quarantine regulation made it difficult for horses, whether coming from or going to Australasia, to perform at their true level. This made it especially challenging for them to prove itself on the world stage. In that context, the Japan Cup at the time, a place that was relatively fair for everyone to compete, became a perfect opportunity to showcase true global talent. In addition, Bonecrusher was at the peak of his power. Cox Plate winners should in theory do well in Tokyo. Over 2,000 fans from New Zealand came to Japan just to see the first Australasian horse to win the Japan Cup. But destiny once again played a cruel role. A virus infection almost took the life of Bonecrusher and was forced to withdraw. When the trainer broke down in tears as she announced the information, it left a profound memory for many Japanese fans. A few days later, the Japan Cup was won by an 8-year-old horse, Jupiter Island. Everyone who watched that race was thinking the same thing: if only Bonecrusher was there. This is why in the anime, Bonecrusher had shown such determination of the race.
ニュージーランドに私がいるということを世界に教えてあげるわ。
After the Japan Cup, Bonecrusher remained a champion, becoming the first horse to be named Horse of the Year in both New Zealand and Australia, a cultural ambassador and a Hall of Famer. The impact of the horse stretched far more than just the sport. Yet in the following 2 years, his career began to decline. In 1987, he took a break and did not compete in the Japan Cup. In 1988, the hero returned to this fated land again. Long past his peak, the hero aged, yet the dream remained. A dream of showing the world the strengths of Australasian racing. That's why he visited a shrine beforehand, praying for safety and health. A brave heart, a legend. This is Bonecrusher.
This was a champion who knew how to thrill race crowds and whose lasting memory will always be for his will to win.
In history, every horse in the Japan Cup carries a story of epic highs and lows. Why Tony Bianca was seen as a favorite but the overall media was concerned. Why Ellerslie Pride has a scar and is praying at a shrine. Why Obey Your Master has a room of research. Why Japan wants to win Japan Cup so bad. I feel like if I just show a surface level of what they won and what they did, it would be unfair and hard to truly appreciate the glory and sorrow behind these champions. So I will try to showcase the deeper story behind them as the show goes by. And next week, if the anime does not finish the race, I will share the history of how Japan won their first JC, how modern Japanese racing began, the time when 2 Triple Crown winners met each other, and how this race of the century ended.